Hey guys, Happy New Year. Just cutting wood today. Thought I'd take a break and shoot my flintlock. You see that all right? Sure you got your safety glasses on and your hearing protection. You see that all right? Let me go up and see where I hit. Missed my target. Hit right underneath. Shooting at a couple of cans. I'll get it on the next shot. Let me show you what I'm doing. This here is a Thompson Center Hawken 50 caliber flintlock muzzle loading rifle. I don't know if you can see that. That thing nice. Check out the patch box on there. You see that? This is there's two triggers here. That's called a double set trigger. When you're ready to fire, you squeeze the back trigger and that sets it. Then when you go to fire with the front trigger, you got a real light hair trigger on there, and this is adjustable. So look how nice that wood is. Believe it or not, I built this from a kit about 30 years ago. American black walnut. The metal was already blued. I did the shaping and fitting of the stock. I sanded it down to 500 grit sandpaper. Man, that thing is smoother than I don't know what. Then what I did was I used my little torch. I took a damp rag, wiped the stock off, got it damp, used my torch, heated it up, and a little fibers in the wood stuck up. And then I took extra fine steel wool and went against the grain and took those little splinters off. That's called feathering the wood. Yep, and then I used stock filler and stain. And then I used about 7 coats of True Oil, and I hand rubbed it in with my fingers. About 7 coats, steel wooling it in between. So that thing's smooth as glass. Unbelievable. These were made back in the, came about in the mid 1820s. It was invented by the Hawken brothers. At the time, this was probably the best plains rifle you could get, the Cadillac of rifles. This was the best up until they came out with the breech loading firearms. A lot of people had these, like Teddy Roosevelt, Kit Carson, Jeremiah Jones, Jedediah Smith. Everybody wanted one of these, but they were expensive back in the day. So this one's a 50 caliber. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. So first thing you're going to do is put the hammer on half cock. You got two positions, so pull it halfway back. That's the safety position. Now, if you're just getting your gun out after cleaning it, what I did was, you know, most guns, when you clean them, you're going to wipe them all down with light coating oil. So I took a dry cleaning patch, ran it down the barrel, dried that out, and then I took an alcohol swab and dried off the frizzen. So you can see this is called the frizzen. This here is the hammer, and that holds your flint. So when you fire it, the hammer comes down with the flint, hits this part, that's the frizzen, and on the way down it comes down, rubs that frizzen, making a spark, and then there's going to be black powder in here. That's called the flash pan. That spark ignites the powder in the flash pan, and there's a tiny little hole in here called the touch hole. It burns through there into the powder that's in the barrel, the pre-measured charge, and when that burns, turns into gas, and the resulting gas creates pressure and pushes the ball, the round ball, out and fires it. And when the ball leaves the barrel, that's when you hear the bang. So compared to a regular firearm, you'll hear like a double sound. The first sound is the powder going off in the flash pan, kind of a swoosh, and then a bang, whoosh, bang. So let's see how to load this. So let me make sure, got it on half cock. Okay, it's on half cock. So one other thing, on this particular model of rifle, on half cock with your frizzen down, you should have a space between the frizzen and the edge of your flint, approximately a 1/16 of an inch. And that's where I have mine set here. So, okay, now this is kind of a dangerous operation. Firearms can be dangerous. So you're going to keep the end of the barrel pointed away from your face as much as possible. And you're going to take the pre-measured charge using the appropriate amount of black powder. Now, you're going to tap that a little bit, make sure there's no powder stuck in the barrel here. Now you're going to take a shooting patch, which is already lubed. They're pre-lubed, the ones that I have. Or you can use what's called a spit patch. You take a dry patch and chew on it for a couple minutes, get it lubricated with your saliva. Then I'm using a ball starter. I'm going to push that in and get it started. Like that. And push it the rest of the way in. Okay. Like I said, you're over top of the barrel, but you want to stay behind it as much as you can. Then ram that all the way down in one smooth movement until you hit the bottom, Now you don't hammer it like that. I see guys doing that. You will deform your round ball that way. So now you're going to charge the pan. So flip your frizzen over. Charge your pan. Keep it pointed in a safe direction. Now you want to just tap it a little bit like that. Just hold your gun on a wee bit of an angle. Tap on a little bit. Get some of that flashbang powder down in the touch hole. Okay, now you want to drop the frizzen back over. That covers up your flash pan. Make sure you got safety glasses on. I left mine in my truck, so I'm using the smeared up, scratched up glasses that I use for weed whacking. So, okay, now we're ready to fire. So, I'm going to pull this back on full cock position. Now, like I said, you take the back trigger. That's a set trigger. Squeeze that. You hear that click? I don't know if you could hear that or not. Anyway, now it's ready to fire. Got a hair trigger. And this time I'm going to see if I can hit those couple of cans. I don't know. Can you see me all right? Misfire. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Did you see that misfire? Huh? So what happened was when I squeezed the trigger and dropped the hammer, didn't make the right spark and the flashbang powder didn't go off. Yeah, so imagine back in the day, before modern firearms were available, trying to use this to feed yourself and feed your family. And this is the top dog back then. This was the best you could get. So imagine having a more inferior product, which the majority of them were. And then on top of that, having to deal with rain. You're out here in the rain and your powder gets damp. That sucker's not going off. And then you have to worry about Indians trying to kill you, freezing to death, all that other stuff. You guys got it easy now. Imagine living in 1840, having to feed yourself with that. You see that? I hit right over the top. Looks like I need some more practice. So the first shot I hit below my target. I'm aiming at. I got 2 soda cans stacked up, and then second shot I aimed a little higher. I went right over top of those 2 cans. So I definitely gonna need some more practice. Yeah. So let me show you this powder measure I'm using. So you open that up. That's where you dump your powder. And then you loosen this up. This measures powder by volume. So when you slide that all the way in, it's fills that up, huh? Can you see that? So you pull that out, there's graduated marks right here. So you pick the desired spot you want. Snug this up with your fingers, this finger knob. Then you use your flask and you pour it down in here, holding that upright. Then when you swing this end over, that cleans off any excess powder on the top. Then you have a little spout here, you can dump it right into the barrel. This is a this American-made powder measure. This is made by, I believe it's Thompson Center. They don't make that anymore. Unfortunately, if you guys are interested in flintlocks, you should buy up some of the measuring tools and specific parts to flintlocks, because they're not very popular. They're doing away with them. I think Thompson Center discontinued the flintlock rifles, and they don't have some of the powder measures and flasks that they used to have available. And also, I think another thing contributing to that is the fact that Pennsylvania, here where I'm at, is one of the last states where they have a flintlock-only hunting season. Most states around the country have a muzzle loading season, but most of those guys are using percussions, which in a percussion, instead of having the frizzen and the flash pan here, you'd have a little nipple sticking out, and you put a percussion cap on there. That's 10 times more reliable to fire than this. So, but this is more challenge. It's kind of cool. You know, I like the flintlocks. They're fun. And it takes you back in history, let you know where we came from. All right, so maybe I think next time there's a lot of different tools and gear that you're going to need. I mean, bare bones stuff, you know, just to shoot, you know, powder measure, a flask, ramrod, but other stuff that you'll use will be stuff like a pick to clean your touch hole, a flash pan primer, which I don't have with me right now, that you just push down. It's a little easier than the one that I was using there. The pan primer, you push that down, it's spring loaded, and it dispenses a specific amount of powder onto your pan. So, all right, guys. Had enough for today. I got to get back to work. So, you guys have a great New Year's, and you know, wake up happy, get some stuff done, live your life to the fullest, because you only live once. So, you know what I'm saying. All right, Happy New Year.